What did we really expect was going to happen?
Double H, Double H, Double H, Double H, Double H, Double H.
When you see France, Portugal, Europe's finest, the final, the finest Europe, you're like, oh shit, man, we're gonna get him, man. We're gonna get him. We're gonna get that game, man. We'll go Mbappe, go Cristiano, go Griezmann, Pogba, go Joao Felix, and all these dudes. It's similar to what I say about films that it doesn't matter who's acting in the film, who's writing the film, who's directing the film, and I believe personally that if we had two different managers, we would have had an amazing game. Fernando Santos, you can't say anything to him. He is the manager that led Portugal to their first ever major victory. And a large part of why they won those zeros in 2016 was because of their very pragmatic style. A style that he obviously used for Greece and a style that he uses now for these boys. It is what it is. But it's got the winning. So, and Fernando Santos ain't never going to change. And Fernando Santos, when he won that Euros in 2016, he was like, this is for all the haters. Because people hated his style. They said, look, how can you have charisma, Cristiano, all these dudes, and then you're playing this negative style? But he was like, no, I'm going to keep with it. And once he won the Euros, there's nothing anybody can say. There's nothing anybody say. Hence why he's still in the job, because it's like, bro, I gave you those Euros. What are you going to say now? For France, we said this on Saturday that this is the most talented squad that I've ever seen in terms of the amounts, the depth, the breadth, and the palette and the tapestry of talent that they can pull from. France have it deeper than anyone else. And you look at this game and you're like, how many shots did any of the keepers have to save? Because what you had was, you know what Portugal are going to do? Because you see, it's always about matchups. It's about matchups. And I think that if these guys had met in the World Cup, the game would have ended up similar to being like this, because Portugal, we know that they're a very defensive team. And they know that they don't give away any space. But obviously, Uruguay had a striker in a Cavani who, on his day, can say what's up. But Giroud is Giroud. Giroud ain't going to say what's up. And I think when you're going up against a tough defensive team, you need a striker. Because Belgium aren't a tough defensive team. Croatia not a tough defensive team. Argentina, we all know those guys are opening it up like if you've been prostitutes. So France, on their way to that 2018 World Cup win, didn't really have to face a team as tough defensive as Portugal. Because Portugal, you can sometimes you want. These guys, they know how to defend. And these guys, they don't give you sniff. They don't give you sniff. And when you're facing these guys that don't give you a sniff, you need a striker. You need a striker who has a real presence, who can do something. Giroud is not a striker. He's a link man. He's a link merchant. He's a link merchant. So, because look, France, they had a few good openings here and there because Pogba and Griezmann were trying to link play, but there was just not enough space. There was no space. And I feel that I would have liked Martial to be brought in a lot earlier. Give him 20, give him 25, because he was obvious that Giroud was not really doing anything. But Portugal probably came closest to winning it when they popped off, got the counter, gave the ball to Cristiano, and Cristiano hit that left foot shot. But let's just address both of these guys. Let's address Portugal. I can see a star in Joao Felix. I can see the star right there. I can see it. It's there. Because you can see his skill, you can see his dribble, you can see his movement, you can see his football, like you can see how he dances through traffic on the field, which doesn't happen in Atletico Madrid. And I just think that if you just had a manager or a coach that says, guys, go out and play. Go out and play. Express yourselves. Let's throw guys forward. Yo, Guerrero, who we know is an excellent left back. Guerrero, say what's up. Go up. Joao Felix, combine guys carrying the ball And when Joao Felix, when you have the ball, you've got about 5 guys to aim towards. But when Joao Felix is not going for the ball, he has only 1, 2, 3 guys to aim towards. What's he supposed to do? Because who was Portugal's striker? Because Cristiano was playing out left. So as Portugal are not going forward, all you can do is just hit the ball to Cristiano. And you know that France has... it's... You're watching 2 defensive teams play against each other. 2 pragmatic teams play against each other. But who don't have players who are necessarily pragmatic. Because you see, France against Belgium, that was an attacking team. France, obviously a defensive team. Against Croatia, Croatia are a more balanced team. Argentina, that was full-on kamikaze attack because some people don't know what the hell those guys were doing. So, and again, and see, when Portugal... But you see, that's the thing, though. Look at 2016. The final that they played, it's ended up... A goal was scored in the 116 minutes. It wasn't the greatest game. It was the greatest game. And France only really came alive when Ede, shout out to Ede, he got that G. So, but it's a difficult one because as much as you say, oh my gosh, why can't these guys attack? Why can't these guys go forward? Sack these managers. These guys you're holding back. Amazing talent. They want... Because what you're looking at right now is, as much as I want to insult Santos and insult Deschamps because you are denying us entertainment, you are holding back Joao Felix, you're holding back Mbappe, you're holding back Griezmann, you're holding back Pogba, you're holding back Trincao, you're holding back all these boys, Cristiano and all these boys. Fernando can say, you like this Euro medal? You like it? You like how it shines? Deschamps say, do you like this World Cup medal? Do you like this World Cup medal, you loser? I won the World Cup, so they can say, screw you, I won't like this. And what can I say? What can all of us say? What can all of us say? Because as I'm watching that, I'm like, both of these guys don't want to make a mistake. Nobody wants to make a mistake. Nobody's saying, okay, let's not push guys forward. Each team, they were attacking with like 2 or 3 guys. Because you see, France, we saw France really, we saw the potential of what France could do when Argentina took the lead. Because France were like, oh, now we now go. Then we now saw Papa go up, and let's go back, and we just saw him really fully attack and really completely overwhelm Argentina. But so if they're not poked in the eye and forced to come out, they're not going to do anything. So, but this is why the Euros is going to be very open. I'm not putting France as the favorites. I'm saying it right now. Hello. France are not winning the Euros. Nor are they winning the World Cup. They're not defending the World Cup title because I've been in this game for long. I told you I'm a football merchant. So what is this? It's home of football analysis. I've been in this thing too much. Yes, they have amazing talent. So did Brazil in 06. What happened? They didn't do nothing. They didn't do nothing. But you can see now that France, that tactic you had, that very ultra pragmatic tactic you had, is probably not going to work with you. And I think if either an Italy, a Germany, or a Netherlands, or maybe even in England, say what's up and really try and turn up the attacking offensive screw, just on one of those days, they could just get it right and just beat France. Because I believe, and this is not going to happen, I believe that both of these sides would benefit of having a different coach. You see, it's difficult. I think for Fernando Santos, as much as I would like them to attack more, it may suit Portugal more. Because I just feel like if Portugal don't have the kind of attacking time that France have, so just think that for Portugal, it may make more sense to have a guy with that defensive security that your boy Santos has. That must keep guys nice and defensive and in there. But it's like Joao Felix, man, that guy's a gem. That guy is a gem, you know? And I think that seeing him in a team where he has more options when he has the ball, where he doesn't have to turn around and run into traffic like 4 or 5 opposition, I think would be great because I know this guy can run with the ball. I know he's got good pass. I know that this guy can distribute very well. So just unfortunate for both Atletico and for Portugal, we're not seeing him in a side where there are guys all bombing forward and really giving him options, But the tactic may work because, as you said again, Fernando Santos is that I have sharpshooters in here. And obviously Trincao didn't even start this game, and people have really been talking about that dude that went to Barca. So because Santos says, I've got sharpshooters, I'm going to go defensive, keep it strong, keep it structured, because Danilo Carcavalli can say what's up, and we're going to hit them on the counter because we can snipe these guys. For France, I would, because you already know how I feel about Benzema and how I feel that if this team had Benzema, Pogba, Mbappe, Griezmann, we'd be seeing champagne for football. We'll be seeing supreme champagne football. So, but look, it is what it is. Okay, it's the Nations League. I get it's the Nations League. Okay, so just play. If this was like a World Cup quarterfinal, I get it. There's too much at stake. A Euro quarterfinal, I get it. There's too much at stake. Oh wow, it's a Nations League. Oh wow, you don't get great seeding for the Euros. Oh, who cares? Go for it. I just think that there was no reason for both of these teams to be literally frightened and scared of one another, and that's what it was. No team said, you know what, we're just going to throw guys forward and really go forward with this guys and really press high, push forward, and take risks. There was no risks being taken, so it is what it is. Overall, it's hard to say who was the better team because France may have had a lot of the ball, but Portugal, just this is what Mourinho always said, that all because a team has the ball doesn't mean that they're in control of the game. I think Portugal always felt they were in control because the defense was hardly ever breached. Rui Patricio never had to make a difficult save. So from Fernando Santos' point of view, that was the game they wanted and they almost won it. Because remember, they're playing in France, so they almost won it. So it's almost went to plan. Because if Cristiano scores that, boom, 1-0, we did what we needed to do. But I think from France's point of view, playing at home, playing at the crib, and on paper being the better team, I think they should have had more shots on target. They should have breached Portugal's line a lot more. And yes, it is a tough defensive team. It's a defensive thing to break up. But as I said again, I would have liked my shot to come on earlier. And bro, just attack more, man. Bring your right backs and your left backs on, man. So let me take your questions, bro. Let me take your questions, guys, man. All right, what do you guys say, man? Felix should move to Spurs. Look, he just needs to move. Wherever he goes to, I don't know, but he just needs to move. That's just a fact. He needs to move. Yes, I said, HH, how will you rate Pepe? Where do you rank him? People need to put some respect on Pepe's name. This guy's consistency. And remember, he started as a midfielder. He began as a midfielder, moved to the defense. So for a guy who was predominantly a midfielder and had to now move to a new position in defense, you've got to give him some love. I'm not calling him one of the best defenders in the world, but he's a lot better than many people. He's a much better defender than a lot of people would want to think he is. So, Mason Mount is a Chelsea legend. Relax. Red Devil Studio, relax. Relax. I don't give a damn about his deflected goal. Well done to him, but please relax. Yeah, I said, big ups to Pepe. He's 37 and still a better centre-back than 80% in world football. Let that sink in. And this is what I've always said, because when people said, oh, why are Chelsea buying a 35, 36-year-old centre-back? Centre-back is a position where if you could still play 20 or 40, I think Costa Curta was 39 when he retired. He's either 38 or 39. Because the centre-back position is all about it's all about where your position. It's all about where your position is very key. It's all about where your position. So it's much more of a mental position. Mark Golden, Trincao came on, created a chance for Ronaldo. Yeah. So my thing is that why didn't Trincao start? That's my thing. Why didn't he start Trincao? Why did he start Trincao? You know, um, for instance, what can Ruben Diaz do for City? I think in Ruben Diaz, from what I see, he's a guy that looks more of an old school defender than yeah, he looks more like an old school defender than a lot of the guys that City have gotten. So what I'm thinking he can do is tougher in defense. Tougher in defense and just take it back to old school. None of this John Stones player from the back looks sexy. No, just positioning, aggressive, tough, read the game, make a tackle, and just offer a more resilient backline. And I think that is what Ruben Diaz can bring. Although there are a few balls over the top, because I think there was a ball that Pogba played to Griezmann, which he misjudged. So that could have been a bit iffy for him. Mark Golden, thank you for supporting Mark Golden. Griezmann is a system merchant. Well, that's a bit harsh. That's a bit harsh. So okay, well, let me do this right now. The yeah, he might be. He might be a system merchant. He might be a system merchant. Because I just think that he can only play in one system, and he can only play in behind the striker. And now the war. This is the worry for France and for Deschamps. You can now see that his lack of form, especially for Barcelona, is now affecting his France form. Because again, Griezmann hardly did anything in this game. And ask yourselves this: when was the last time that Griezmann looked good? It's been a while. I guess yes, I know it's Mbappe. He had a few skills, but he didn't do his thing. I guess. FCP 2001, you have been. I'm going to block you. Yeah, I'll block you because you've been asking the same thing about R9 for ages to try and annoy the whole chat. So FCP 2001, you've been banned, man. Thank you, bro. I love that. From Yasser Said, why is defensive football disrespect? Defending is half of the game. There's an art in defending, and I feel like defending is massively underrated. Oh no, look. My thing is aside, I get that. And that is true. Like, all aspects of the game is important, like attacking, defending, and so forth. But, you see, I put the onus on France, not Portugal. Because Portugal being the inferior team, with the inferior players man for man, it makes sense for them to be the defensive team that then counters. So for me, my main beef is France. Because, France, why are you pragmatic against a pragmatic team? This team is not going to come out or give you space. So I'm sorry, you're going to have to take that risk of giving them the counter, but forcing them, attack them, and push higher and pull more men forward. France, for me, just moved the ball around, hoping and waiting for Portugal to come out and have space. But it was not going to happen because Portugal are just very, very good defensively. They're a very tough defensive side. And when you're against a side that are as good defensively as Portugal, and you have like a mutant like Pepe, who's from the streets. Pepe is a thug from the streets. When you're dealing with a thug from the streets, basically, who was it? Who was Pepe's other dude? It's the guy that looks really scary. Guys, tell me the live chats. Who was the other guy? Wait, what was his name? The guy that normally partners Pepe in defense. Who the guy looks like a villain from a Schwarzenegger movie. Basically, when he used to be there, like, it's about aggression. And I think in Ruben Diaz, that's what Sinatra was like. No, these guys were here to defend. So once you're dealing with guys who love to defend and they can defend for 4 hours, these guys can defend for 4 hours. You need to be more imaginative. You need to be far more creative. You need to be far more creative and far more. Bruno Alves, that's the one. Bruno Alves. That guy looks like he eats kids. That guy looks like he eats kids. So when it was him and when it was Bruno Alves and Pepe, thou shalt not pass. Thou shalt not pass. That was the MO. The MO was thou shalt not pass. So, but look, I'll be real with you. There is not a Who are the favorites for the Euros? Are France really the favorites for the Euros? Because if you're saying that um, France are the favorites for the Euros, oh no, VVD is a pussycat, man. Like, he's a very good pussycat, but VVD is like Bambi. He's a pussycat. He's not a thug. The thugs are Lucio, Walter Samuel, Pepe, Bruno Alves, those Chiellini. Those are the guys from the gutter. Those are the thugs, man. Those are the thugs. So as of right now, yeah, there isn't really like a massive thing. So Portugal, they can go in there saying, bro, we can do something. We can do something. And if this Trincao is really this dude, and you have if you have like a Joao Felix, Trincao, Cristiano, three, something like that, and you've obviously got your Bruno Fernandes in the middle, so you've got maybe like a Bruno Fernandes, so you have like a Bruno Fernandes, Carvalho, Danilo. Bro, Portugal can do something. Portugal can do something, because again, it's about winning. It's not about looking good. It's not about entertainment. It's about winning. And I just think for France, this approach that France have, very pragmatic. I'm not sure whether it's going to work again. Because yes, it's worked in 2018. It was what it was. It worked in 2018. It did well. But for me, I just think that France, you're going to have to come with a different tact at those Euros. And I just think that Deschamps, you don't have to fully abandon or reject that approach, but you just need a little bit of a combination. That's it. You just need a little bit of a combination to say what's up. That's it. Just a bit of a combination. See, that's what it's tough. Bernardo Silva, yeah, I mean, he has to start but then my thing is, let's see what Trincao does this season. Because if Trincao has a better season for Barcelona than Bernardo Silva, because remember, Bernardo Silva isn't always the first choice for Man City. So if Trincao has a great season for Barcelona, I think that he's got an argument to start ahead of Bernardo Silva. I mean, Bernardo, he did play pretty well. He did do really well, and he has the number 10 shirt. So, but I think that things should really be a meritocracy, because it's not a case of where he isn't as invaluable as Pepe or Cristiano. Where no, these guys, despite what they do for their clubs, they are stuck inside that team. Or like a William Carvalho, because really Portugal's indispensable players are Cristiano, William Carvalho, Pepe. I think those are the guys that they can't win, because they're very important for what thing he does. So I think, yes, you say Martial. It depends on what the game is. I think this game called for Martial, because Giroud, you could sell, just was isolated, and he just wasn't having the desired effect, because Portugal knew how to nullify his effectiveness and his impact on this game. So, which is why I said for Deschamps, bring on Martial in the 60th minute. Give him like half an hour, because Martial just has more movement, will move guys much more around. So therefore, you have a moving target that you can give to, and you actually have another guy who can really play on the ball with more mobility and more fluidity about it. But the difference, they needed a different approach, and France needed that different approach a lot earlier, because you have Martial, Griezmann, Mbappe, Pogba. That's a lot of skill, a lot of movement, a lot of creativity, a lot of imagination, which I think they could have really benefited from if they really pulled that through, man. So, no, look, I say, neither both of the guys these Mbappe and Cristiano, neither of them did much this game, man. So it's like there's not much you can say, man. That's my thing, man. But and look, as I said again, man, look, Mbappe needs to be careful, man. Mbappe needs to be careful, because guys are coming. Ansu Fati is coming, because and this is what I said before. Maybe he needs to move to Real Madrid real quick now, because I'm seeing a player who might slightly be dipping in terms of quality, in terms of because I told you Mbappe was so key. Like Mbappe really was the kind of catalyst and the real star that France had for that World Cup. So, but for the last year or so, he's not really been saying what's up. He's not really been saying what's up in that kind of area, man. So that's my thing, guys. Look, man, I'm gonna jump off right now. So we'll prepare for the Sunday hang-up, man. Remember, do your thing, stay true, stay sexy, stay wild. Remember to like the vid. Remember to subscribe, hit that subscribe button, man. Subscribe to the Football Hut, and I will see you guys there very soon, man. And yes. Fernando Santos, Didier Deschamps, it is what it is, but attacking once in a while ain't that bad, man. Peace out. See you guys soon. Remember to like and remember to subscribe. Peace out. Thanks for watching the vid. And remember to head to the official website for the latest on my blog, rankings, breaks, and the Hall of Fame on halfoffootballhut.com.